This is a tutorial for Recruiter users. First, you will need to create virtual room access for Recruiter users. The main contact person can start to add the user. Using the menu Company Details section, click the Add button at the Directory Summary section. Then complete the details needed. Once completed, notify the handler so we can activate their access. They will receive an email notification to reset their password, and they can now log in using access.magnusjobfair.com. Now that the recruiters already have access, let's go inside the virtual event exhibit room. Go to the Project Summary tab and click View. At the lower portion of the page, click Enter Virtual Room. This is where you will process your applicants. This is a dedicated room for the company to see the list of applications and applicant details. The client can access this room during the duration of the event, and even after the event, it will not be closed. This is the virtual event exhibit room from the client side. When the recruiter user is logged in, it will show that the recruiter is in. It is advisable that one of your recruiter users is inside the portal. This will truly attract applicants to enter your room. Now let's learn how to use the system on the recruiter side. At the upper portion of the virtual room, you will find the details of the event, such as the event ID, event title, the project code generated, your company name, and your preferred package. At the upper left side of the virtual room page, you will see the Applications and Messages section. In this section, you will find the list of applicants based on the progress status. Beside it, you will see the list of applicants based on their process status: waiting, ongoing, done, and untouched. At the upper middle section, you will find the statistical report of your virtual room. The total applications. These are the total applicants who clicked Apply. For you to see the list, you will have to click All. Online status. Here you will see the number of applicants who are online. At the Messages section, if you see a green dot, that means the applicant is online and inside your virtual room. Offline status. Here you will see the number of applicants who are offline. At the Messages section, if you see a gray dot, that means they are offline and not inside your virtual room. Progress status. This should be done manually by the recruiter users, or if you avail the major minor sponsor or the exclusive virtual career fair event. This can be done by the career manager assigned. Process of application. This is an important section inside the virtual room that serves as an actual remark of the next step of the applicant. For the recruiter users, the process of application is not visible to applicants. This is the area where you can add the current status of the applicant. The progress status and the process of application coincide with one another. Whenever you change something at the progress status, you should always input your remarks at the process of application. We classify the applicants into 4 different progress statuses: untouched, waiting, ongoing, and done. Untouched. This means the applicant has not been tagged by the recruiter users or the career manager. Waiting. This means the applicant is waiting to be interviewed. Ongoing. This means the applicant is still being processed. Done. This means the applicant already has their final status. These 3 progress statuses should be tagged manually by the recruiter users. Waiting status. This means that the applicant is waiting for the interview. Either your lead recruiter or recruiter themselves should assign the applicants that the user will interview. With this, we can prevent double interviews. At the progress section, use the drop-down and click Waiting. At the process of application, type the name of the recruiter user that you will assign. The recruiter can click the waiting list and see the list of applicants that has not been interviewed. The recruiter can check manually the assigned applicants under the recruiter user's name. The contact details of the applicant are already visible. You may call the applicant or chat them by clicking Admit Applicant and activating the chat box. Once you activate it, the generic chat will be the first message to greet the applicant. Recruiter users can call them by their mobile phone. It's up to the company. They want to use a video call link to interview the applicant. There's a link that you can copy-paste at the chat box if you wanted to use it. You may also copy their email and send them an email invitation using your own company email. It's your choice. Ongoing status. Recruiter users must change the progress status to ongoing if they're about to interview the applicant. For those who avail the major, minor, or exclusive event, some applicants were already processed. The career manager who screened the applicants will tag progress as ongoing, Magnus initial at the process of application, and final status as passed. The recruiter user can now do the interview. Client remarks. Recruiter users can make use of the client remarks to indicate the important information gathered during the interview. This can also contain the current status of the applicant. Once the first interview is over, the first recruiter should make use of the client's remarks to add the result of the interview and their name. Then, change the details at the process of application as to whom you will next endorse the applicant. If passed, the applicant can now move to the next step of the interview by changing the details at the process of application. There's no need to change the ongoing status yet. Now, the recruiter user should follow the same procedure. If in any case, you need to share some files with the applicants. Just tick the request to download or upload file and the list of documents for download to activate this section. Once the applicant uploaded the file, you may view it in this area. If you would like to find the applicant and update their status, you can simply search the applicant using the search bar. Save is done manually. Whenever you make any changes at the virtual room, always make it a habit to click the Save Details button. Final status. This is the result of the interview done by the recruiter users. On process. We added the On Process option at the final status just in case it was mistakenly clicked, and there is still an area wherein we can see that the applicant is not yet done with the process. Not qualified. This means that based on the first glance of the resume or the first interview, the applicant is no longer qualified for the position. Failed. This means that the applicant did not pass the interview or assessment of the recruiter user. Shortlisted. This means that the applicant passed the assessment but the position is full. Passed. This means that the applicant passed all the assessments and waiting for the job offer. Hired. This means that the applicant passed and accepted the job offer. If you're doing hired on the spot, kindly indicate the date hired. You can always go back to the virtual room even after the event and update their final status to hired. Make sure to add the date you hired the applicant. Again, click the Save Details button. The final status statistics is displayed for easy reference. If you need to download a copy of the virtual room report, click the Export button and a CSV file will be downloaded. For major, minor, and exclusive career fair sponsors, there is an additional FAQ report from the interview made by the career manager. For exhibitors, here is the CSV extracted information. Reminder, make sure to inform your client handler who are the assigned recruiters to use the system so we can add them to the virtual room and activate their access. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to share it, and we'll be happy to make some adjustments if needed. Thank you for your time, and we hope that this video can help you familiarize yourself with the Magnus Job Fair system.
Basta Job Fair, Magnus Eventos yan!